Hello and welcome to the Random Party Generator. We are giving you a random party. With me is Rob Conley, Mr. Bat in the Attic. Holding half the show on his shoulders is Glenn Hallstrom, Old Man Grognard, author extraordinaire.
Author extraordinaire, alleged.
Alleged, all right.
You're an
And
author?
with us today is Don Samora with the Tower Games.
Alleged publisher.
Alleged publisher.
He's a bit more than alleged. He's an actual publisher.
Yeah.
Actuality.
Whoa, wait a minute. Let's not undersell him because I learned a few things over the past year. Don, you make models for people, right?
He does.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh,
And some of
yeah.
them are like fully articulated. They got little logic and move. And
Oh yeah. Yeah. Fully lit. Yep.
Yeah, he does some amazing stuff.
Which will be auctioned off
Some of it will be auctioned off. Yes, at WizardCon
for the certification. Yes.
for Tim Kask's thing we're doing in Tim Kask's name for getting people Adobe certified for InDesign and Photoshop.
nice.
Very,
Yes.
very cool.
Yes.
So, by the way, just as a side note, on the Discord server, right before we went live, I had people have been asking me, are there examples of live play on this channel? And except for, I guess, 2 sessions of Shadow Dark, there are not live plays on this channel, and there's a reason for that. For the most part, live plays are not exciting. And we are.
I don't know, both the ones we ran were exciting.
Definitely for us. And we actually had a good response to it. But if you watch most live plays that are regular online, they are either boring as hell or they are fake. Okay, they're not really live plays; they're actors.
Yeah. More of a theater.
Yes,
Uh,
yes.
And I find the ones that are like, well, for instance, Thaco's Hammer. We did a few live plays, but it was in a podcast and it wasn't on YouTube.
Mhm.
And it was a lot of fun.
Oh, it's fun for the players. Now,
Well, I mean, it's
yeah. Now,
more interesting.
Years ago, before this YouTube channel was a real like YouTube channel,
Mhm.
I do occasional videos with dragon puppets.
I called you. I gotcha.
All right. Roll20 reached out to me because my blog was very well read, and I talked about how we were gaming on Roll20, and they reached out to me asking if me and my gaming group would do a video on Roll20, and my answer was honest. I was like, it's going to be a relatively short video after it's edited. This is back when I actually did editing. If you watch my videos, you notice I don't edit. But this was, I said, after I take out the politically incorrect jokes and the ball busting and the random chatter, a 4-hour session's probably going to be about 90 minutes.
Wow, you gave 90. I'd be guessing more like 15 minutes.
Yeah, well, I was trying to be generous.
What's wrong with 90 minutes? That sounds like a decent length.
But I also said, I don't use a lot of the bells and whistles on Roll20. We were running mostly theater of the mind. Rob will tell you that when I run a session on Roll20, it's point on the map. Give me a ping on the map. I don't use tokens, and Rob will tell you I don't use tokens because I forget to move them when I'm a player. I understand that.
I've heard that about you.
I've been.
Yeah.
I was part of the live play with Matt Evans, and his version was it was going over on YouTube, and there was audio, and he pointed a camera on the map, and that was it.
And that's Matt Finch used to run stuff like that. The thing is,
Well, yeah, but me, I use the dynamic lighting and
oh yeah, Rob.
I am a full course press.
If Roll20 wants somebody here, I'm going to throw this out there. Roll20, if you want someone that uses all your bells and whistles in a session, Rob is the one. Okay, Rob is the man that you want. Tell him to get a channel, or you can use our channel here. That's fine. But listen, have you ever watched a game session at a convention as standing by? It's interesting for maybe 5, 10 minutes, like you're watching it from the side. But do you really want to spend 2, 3, 4 hours watching it live? No, because you're not part of the excitement. You're watching other people have a great time, and you're
Well,
there.
theater of the mind.
But
Yeah,
doesn't
I'm not in
Critical
there.
Role edit their
Even
Oh, hell.
yeah, I
Even
believe
in
they do, but
shows?
they're also it's it's partially scripted.
Well,
Okay.
aside from the partially scripted, they don't point a camera at the group and just keep it on for the whole 4 hours. They film 4 hours or whatever how long it, and then they edit it from there.
Right.
And of
Yeah,
course,
because-
they're adding the acting in it, which probably makes the editing easier.
right.
But they're not subjecting you to raw footage.
Right.
They're really set up though to do this correctly. I mean, they've got like post production.
Yeah.
I mean,
They got multiple camera angles. They're doing it together. And they're not doing it from like virtual remote locations. But and yes, modern audiences do watch people play games for 4 hours at a time. It's a whole thing. We're not going to listen. There will be in 2026. I will tell you this: there will be some live plays, but they're going to be live plays because I promised folks I'm going to do a Dragon Slayer live play this year. But it's something that I'm going to have to spend a lot of time prepping for because I'm going to make sure that it is moderately entertaining because they are, generally speaking, a snooze fest. Okay, just saying.
Well, I want to. It's on a tangent, but it's
Yeah.
related to the Roll20. So folks know, the whole reason. I mean, I do like minis. I do like Dwarven Forge. You guys been on my blog. You can see examples when I had the full Dwarven Forge layout. But the primary reason that I stuck with minis and learned how to do, dry erase battle boards and Dwarven Forge was because I'm partially deaf. I have 50% hearing loss, and more than that is nerve damage. So it affects the processor, so to speak, as well as the clarity, as a damage to the middle ear, tends to do. So by being able to show people what's happening, and by them showing me what they're doing, it was a godsend and allowed my junior high and later high school self to do campaign. Where if I try to do it theater of the mind, it would not have been satisfactory or as fun.
Gotcha.
And that, listen, I'm going to throw this out there too. I've been doing a lot of videos on various just like tools that you can use at your game table. I'm not saying use all the tools. Use the tools that fit your method, your table. The tools that I'm going to use as I run as a DM, and I don't use all the tools that I talk about regularly. Sometimes I change depending on where I'm going to be running the game or what the game session is going to be like. But what I will do will differ from what Rob will do, which will differ from what Glenn will do, and I've run with Glenn. Differ from what Don will do because I've run with Don. Everybody has just like their favorite tools, their favorite methods. You can't put a square peg in a round hole without a lot of effort, a lot of force, and it doesn't do so well. So if a certain method or tool that you see on my channel or somebody else's channel resonates with you, steal it. And if it doesn't resonate with you, don't steal it. It's people have been asking like, well, how do I integrate all this? You don't pick one initially that sounds
run with
good.
it.
Yeah, and once you're comfortable with it, and if it works, then maybe you find something else that adds to it, and you've got your own techniques that you've developed over years. There's nothing wrong with that. There's no one true method.
And also, even when it comes to something as elaborate as Dwarven Forge, there are multiple ways of slicing that apple. For example, I've only done a pre-built layout a handful of times.
Mm.
The bulk, what I've learned to do was organize my Dwarven Forge in such a way that I can build the dungeon on the fly, and it does take a little longer than just a verbal description. But the trick is to have it organized behind you, and as you just you're going to give a verbal description anyway, even with Dwarven Forge. So as you're doing the verbal description, and my hands are flying, throwing out the pieces, and then I'm done. And so it works. But I will say it's not as elaborate as a pre-built because I'm not going to take the time
No, you
to
can't.
put it. No, you can't. I'm going to use the basic corners, walls, and then I have a box of prop, and I'm just going to throw a few props to detonate the major terrain. But it's nice in that when you have a pre-built layout, that's Eric's experience with. I think
Mhm.
it was B1 or something that was built out all
Oh,
all out.
it was well, I was using the Mouth of Doom from Rapid Athic, which was beautiful. Sorry, I should say that. Let me revise this. It was beautiful the first year or two. I ran it, but after a couple of years of it being assembled and disassembled and assembled and disassembled, uh, the reassembly became more of like a random, let's see what fits together, and it morphed into something other than what it was. But if you're building it as the players see it, then they aren't going to metagame. But if it's built on the table and your players sit down and it's all there on like a 10 by 10, 100 square feet on the table, guess what? They're going to metagame. And the only way you can run that is you got to be quick and give them no time to dilly dally because you need immediate decisions so they don't metagame. And you got to be
Yeah.
quick. And that's it. You adjust your DMing style for that. I learned that after my first session. My first session, I was like, oh, jeez.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, wow. It's almost like playing, if you've ever played speed chess or,
Yeah.
and it's like, dun, dun. And I played it, I used to play speed chess with teams.
Mm-hmm.
So every piece I would capture would go to my partner. I was playing white, he was playing black. He could put that piece down on the board, but it was all you had to work quickly. And I was good in that game, playing defense. I could play the turtle, and as long as my partner was good at offense, we would almost always win because I was good at being in the turtle position and just capturing the occasional piece from my partner and not losing. You know,
Just okay. So okay,
John,
Chthonic Musings, you had your laugh. You had your laugh.
John Miller had a question about the RPG Gamer magazine, Don. He wants to know when he'll be able to buy it. Also, will there be subscriptions? And are you accepting submissions, I guess?
yeah, Paul had the same
Yeah.
question.
I'll go to order. Number one, yes, we're always accepting submissions because we have new editions coming out. Number two, yes, the magazine is coming out the end of this month. You will be able to do either single issue or you can go ahead and subscribe. There's going to be 5 issues per year, 4 quarterlies with one end of year kind of mashup and everything. So, and if you do a subscription, you get the PDF downloads for free also, along with the printed copies.
Very cool. All right, so Rob,
Yeah,
Rob,
I'm sharing. I found some photos of my setup.
okay.
Oh,
So
wow.
so this is before Dwarven Forge. For some reason, I have a friend named Dwayne who's a master craftsman, and occasionally out of the blue he will just go on a tear, and he decided to build his own Dwarven Forge, and he let me use it.
Is that all foam, Rob?
No, that's all wood.
Really?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He built that. Said never again. He almost killed himself. Cut up. But nonetheless,
In my lifetime.
so I have this box that's nicely organized, and as you will see, So there's my battle mat. There's my table.
Nice.
But here's another setup. I built this on the fly. This is part of the same dungeon, and I did have some resin dwarven forge. That's where the door came from. So I kept those handy. And you can see another layout, and you can see the minimal props that I use. And then another layout, and yet another layout, and also, oh yeah, I was running Ruins of Vermont with my Majestic Waterland stuff.
Nice.
But this is how I build things. By having that box organized, I was able to build things quickly on the fly and get most of the benefits of Dwarven Forge. And the player seems to enjoy the spectacle.
Oh yeah, it's engaging for them. It's they can get into it better, I think.
Yeah, I just use I've got a set of blue dungeon tiles, and
I remember those.
Yeah, I still got the whole set. And what I do is basically I lay out the dungeon like the night before during prep or whatever, take a picture of it, then print it out on the printer and label the tiles and 1, 2, 3, tile 1, tile 2, tile 3. So
I do that too.
Yeah. So
because the damn things have a grain, and you have to account for that when you do your layout, or you don't get the in-between walls right.
Right. So that way I can go, okay, this piece goes here. And I can still do Fog of War. So
nice.
Yeah, what I did is I hacked the Dwarven Forge website because they had a dungeon builder on there using their tiles. And I was able to access their folder with all the images, and I just downloaded it so I can build my dungeon with CorelDRAW, which is easier for me.
nice.
Not that they did do exactly a bad job, but it wasn't a good job either. So
Nice.
And if you were ever wondering, now you know.
Yep.
oh yes, Melmon. So back in the middle 2010s, okay, so those of you don't know, I played for my system of choice for 2 decades was GURPS. As you can see, I got 3 foot of GURPS books up through, I would say 4 feet of GURPS book up there.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
I
GURPS.
love
I love GURPS.
If you
unfortunately,
didn't play
Jack-
GURPS, you use the supplements. They were great.
yeah. And Steve Jackson has strong opinions on open content. So, in short, there are no open content and no open licensing of GURPS. And when, after I did my initial round of supplement, Majestic Waterland, while I was happy to continue working with that, I wanted my GURPS. So I looked at Fudge. Because Fudge was built, for people who don't know, Fudge was built to address some of the shortcomings of GURPS, especially when you come playing the very small people with the very large people.
And if you ever played Fate, you're playing a version of Fudge.
Yep.
Essentially, yep.
So I built a Majestic Fantasy 4DF version. Then I play test it, and that's what the short price list is for. But Fudge has a problem. Well, actually, Fudge doesn't have a problem. The 4DF has a problem in that if you give a +1 bonus or 1 step bonus, it's a huge difference. Instead of you jumping from a 50-50, you'll jump through a 67 to a 70% chance of success. And even the math idiots in my group noticed the problem when they applied experience to the character. They went, Rob, I'm really good now. What happened? And they didn't like that compared to the other system. I mean, they wanted to be better, but not that much better that quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, I was busy with the Judges Guild. I was busy with the OSR stuff, and I never did figure out. And eventually I figured out if I would have done 2d6 minus 2d6, it would have eliminated some of the problem, but not all of the problem, because now you're on a 2d6 roll. You're in traveler territory, basically. And but by then, I did too much work with my Majestic Fantasy, and I made Majestic Fantasy work the way I like it. And that's what I'm going to stick with.
That's your story. You're sticking to it.
Yep.
Yeah, when I came back to gaming, I was gone from gaming from 97 to 2007, 2008. When I came back, I found all the like interesting like free games, and Fudge was one of them.
Mhm.
Was it by O'Sullivan? I was like, and I'm like looking at it, I'm like, oh my god, this you could do so much with. And I was overwhelmed with how much I could do with it and did absolutely nothing with it.
Yeah, if you want to get into Fudge, this is the book to get.
That's the one. Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Remember, guys, this is not pick it up and just run it. This is a
No.
toolkit.
And I've got somewhere in the closet a set of not fate dice, fudge type.
Oh, I got fudge dice. Oh my god, where do I have wooden fudge dice.
I mean, I got more buying the fudge dice because I thought, why are you getting just a few fate dice when I can get like 12 fudge dice?
They are on the shelf over here somewhere, and God knows where.
Yes, that's something that turns. Sometimes people get turned off. It's like DCC. You got to use different dice, and some people don't like them. Oh yeah,
Right.
So, roll the fudge dice. Point the camera down.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
So I wrote a 0 there. Another 0. Oh wow! I wrote a +3. That's not common at all, but that's fudge dice. So you have plus, minus, and blank. 2 faces each.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
And while I have this out, for those of you who are fans of Stranger Things,
Oh yes.
this is not a recent facsimile. This was the one they made back in the day.
Oh, so
Nice.
the original Demogorgon.
The original Demogorgon. And then I thought I was watch the show season 1. It's like, I thought the miniature looks familiar. I got that miniature. Pulled it out.
We went out. Oh, we went out today to an antique store in Norman, and they had some game stuff there.
Really?
They had some minis, some old, Grenadier minis, sets of them. But they really think very highly of their stuff. They had 3 box sets of the TSR Marvel Face Rip, 2 of which was the basic and advanced. And I had that box set, the advanced box set. They wanted $70 for that. It's like, geez.
But what condition was it in?
Fair.
Oh, yeah. All right. If it was,
you get that in collectibles period though all the time. Like even in the the sci-fi Star Wars collectible stuff, you get somebody who has like a little Star Wars figure that's like maybe worth $10 and they want 150 for it. It's like, but it's Star Wars from 1977.
Is it still in the blister pack?
They had
Not in the blister pack. No.
They had a set of the 12 Grenadier Classic.
I don't know why I do this, guys. But yeah,
they wanted like $85 for them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know they're lead and not.
Right. So
I was 12 years old with Star Wars, and yes,
excellent. Looks like Chewbacca, and we got Darth Vader and Obi-Wan Kenobi.
That's right.
These are original Christmas gift from 1978.
Original Kenner.
Nice.
And then this is from my kid, so I just kept it. But yeah.
Yes, Shark Attack. There is love for Orbit.
C-3PO.
Yeah, this is a newer one. But I forgot. I have. Oh, sorry, Han. Forgot to show you as well. But yes, I have.
Han Solo.
He's another survivor.
Nice.
I did lose a Stormtrooper, Tusken Raider, Luke Skywalker. They're gone.
Oh, bummer.
No Leia, huh?
And my buddy in the back.
I probably had a Leia, but she disappeared early.
R2. I'm going to do an R2D2, but I want to do an R5 conversion. R5D4.
Oh, by the way, Beth, yes, it's still unpainted after 30 years.
Hey, Don, are you going to do a Gonk droid? I've
done Gonk droids. They're on my page.
Oh, have you? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I I've done a lot of gonks. Last one I did was for a guy for breast cancer awareness, and I had it painted like all trying to challenge me to do a pink gonk and make it look good in
It's
Star Wars.
so funny. Many years ago, we took the Gage and Gavin to Disneyland, and that's back when they were still doing the regular fast passes.
Mhm.
And we got a fast pass for Star Tours, and the machines all look like gunk droids.
Yep. Douglas Pearson asked about my magazine. Doug, right now our store is offline. We're redoing it for the first of the year. It's going back online here in a few days with the new website. But there'll be a link to the magazine, but the magazine's not physically going on sale until the end of the month when we actually have physical copies.
All right, so here I'll if you're watching on my channel, when the store goes live again, Don will let me know.
Mhm.
I'll put a link up as a post.
Yeah.
In this channel so folks can find it. All right.
And you can go right now to wizardtowergames.com.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can go to wizardtowergames.com. That's our core. That's changing. That's going away here in a few days once we get the new website up. So,
but I'll make sure that the information is available. I will do a post. And here, I'm going to address something. OSR Christmas is going to come alive again. I'm going to put the paddles to it probably on Sunday.
Mhm.
If I don't take my Tylenol, I have a splitting headache that goes on from the sinuses from this damn flu. So if you've noticed me to be a bit more dopey than usual on these live streams, it's because I'm a bit more dopey.
We understand it takes you a while, but if it takes any longer, you could just do like OSR Valentine's Day.
Yeah, I know, but Christmas in January. But I didn't want to start doing the matching between gifts and gifters and all that stuff
Mhm.
without being relatively close to like competent.
Yes.
Just throwing it out there. Not, I want to be competent. I had one year where I tried to match everything up when I was not totally coherent due to an illness, and it shat the bed, and
It shot the bed.
it shat the bed. And if you've ever shat the bed, it's not a good thing.
Are you on Tylenol right now?
Yeah, which is helping. It takes the edge off, but it doesn't. It has. As Fugly, we discussed it. Fugly was telling me too that he got the flu back in November, and he still gets these sinus headaches. And when it really kicks, it's like I go, is it a sinus headache or is it like a jaw ache? And it's literally the whole side of the head. So,
oh yeah, I get those sinus aches sometime. It's like,
yeah, it's joy, oh joys.
Yeah.
But
I've got a history of sinus problems during my life, and I know those.
No, Beth, I've had 2 blood tests this week from 2 different doctors looking for, and one is a nephrologist who's on top of this. But yeah, no, it's not liver damage. I haven't been taking mega doses of Tylenol. It literally is. I got the flu Saturday after Christmas, and yes, I got on the Tamiflu right away, which took the main symptoms of hacking up your lung and
Nice.
sneezing constantly.
You got rid of lung cookies, did you?
Oh my God, yes. I sounded like a 2-pack a day smoker for a bit, and yeah, no. So, and by the way, Beth, I see a nephrologist, a cardiologist, and an endocrinologist, and 2 are this week and 1's next week. They all.
Well, you've got all the ologists all right in your hand. Right?
I've got to. I didn't mention the podiatrist, but that's because it's not until next month.
Don was sending me dirty pictures, and those are your gonk droids. They look really nice.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I do a full size Han Solo and Carbonite, R2D2.
Yeah, it's beautiful stuff, man.
Yeah.
Yes, Fugly, it's not a tumor.
It's not a tumor.
It's not a tumor.
It's not a tumor. Oh, God. God help us, each and every one of us.
Are you sure?
I've had a tumor. This isn't a tumor.
Okay. It's,
I
no,
listen. There's a lot of things I can't take for decongestion because of high blood pressure. So
Mm.
I do it anyway. But that's me. So
I know. When you get desperate, you're like,
yeah. I mean, I'm not supposed to take Advil, but I take Advil.
dude.
So anything new in anybody's gaming thing? Rob, you got any new projects coming down the pipe?
No, I'm working on the old project.
There you go.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I got one thing to show.
Proctologist.
No, I worked it out with a finger.
So it's not it's particularly exciting, but it's the counter tables. I'm a big fan of
Oh yeah.
Tables.
the Monster Manual 2s. They I think they use a D8 and a D12 for a 2D20 for a 2 to 20 result. But what that mechanic does is creates a plateau. So all these common results here have equal probability of showing up.
Ah,
And
So
I recognize that program.
And what I did, yes, this is InDesign. And so what I did is I elected to do a 1d4 plus 1d8 and structure my counters. So I'm going through and I got to finish up these encounters. And I didn't really plan it, but I realized after looking at I was double checking stuff against my island of Piade. I realized I did not account for rumors, so I am scrambling. So I generated rumors.
Good.
Rob, what question for you? Why do you use InDesign for that and not Corel?
Okay, because Corel does have
Trick question.
pages. Corel does have pages. Corel has interlinking text box, but Corel doesn't really have a sense of the page with columns and stuff. It's an illustration program. You draw vector image with it. You have those tools because sometimes your vector image is a poster or some other thing that involves a lot
what
of
version
text.
of Corel are you using then?
2019 because the later versions suck in various ways, but
Oh, I like the newer versions because you can actually make the newer versions actually actually function like InDesign.
I did not know that, but I do have 2025. For the first time this year, I bought the subscription, although I did buy 2024 or thing. But I guessed on, I know I stopped sharing, but I'll fire it up in a second. I'll show you exactly what the problem with 2025 or any newer version. But basically, they don't handle my giant maps well.
Really? Because how big are your maps? Because I pull really large stuff in Corel Draw.
It's okay. To be clear, it handles them, okay, except for one very important detail,
Steve,
which
yes.
is even with my hot rod of a computer now, it's going to take me a minute to fire up.
Dun dun dun.
And here is me dancing really fast, trying to fill the air.
Yes, we are geeking here, gentlemen.
And
Yes.
ladies, yes, we are doing the best geeking we can. By the way, on
Don and Rob are no longer allowed on a show together.
on Wednesday, this channel hit 9,000 subs.
Congratulations.
At the moment, we're 5 away from 9,100. So
Nice.
I want to thank everybody that supported this channel. The 2025 ended on a really high note. Well, aside from the fact that I got the flu. But really, it's been a really strong note, and the support for this channel is amazing. And some of the comments I've been getting on the videos are humbling. So
I have a question.
you can have a question, Glenn.
I've shown this before,
Oh, whoa.
This drive-through RPG
Oh, okay.
PDF, the B movie title generator. I love it. Okay.
Okay.
The first table on here to roll on is a D50. How do you roll a D50?
A D15 or a D50?
5-0.
5-0.
You know what? What's his name? The guy with all the great the perfect dice used to have a D50.
Zachi.
Sachi used to have a D50. But yeah, but it was basically like their D100, which was a round ball with
50. Yeah.
50 nubs on it. You just take a percentile and you half it.
Yeah, I mean,
They-
as long as it's an even
didn't-
multiply of a D100, they just
Yeah.
do the D100.
Okay. Yeah,
I think didn't Goodman do like a D50 book or something like
I
that?
thought it was weird because I opened this up and the first D50. What the hell? D50? Who the hell uses a D50?
But that's how you.
Oh, well. That was my curiosity question of the evening.
You're allowed to
Curiosity.
Yeah.
It killed the cat, but I mean, you're allowed a curiosity question.
Okay. Well, satisfied.
All right, get in there, Don.
Oh, you're fine.
Or buy a D50.
Yeah, see, Ricardo, that wouldn't work because
Yeah, what ends if you have 1d6 minus
it's
1?
not. Yeah, it's
All right, I am prepared. Now I got to share this properly.
Properly.
Share screen. Yeah, I can't do a window. I have to do
5D10.
entire screen. And we are live.
we are live. Here is
Hubba hubba.
the screen.
All right, so
Okay.
so you guys know I am drawing the entire Majestic Fantasy Realm as one giant map file.
What size is it?
I don't know, what's 103 inches by
Okay. So it's 103 by what? 78 or something?
224.
224. Oh, you're going the opposite I do. Okay.
Yeah, it's 204 inches by 224 inches.
Okay.
All right, you see how I'm zooming in?
Yes.
This is 2019.
Yes.
This is 2025.
Okay, so what you've got is you're getting the pixelation.
Right,
Are you going up though into view and going high res? Views in the upper left, yeah. You should be able. Oh, there you go. Yeah, it's enhanced. Never mind. You're clicking on enhanced.
I know. I battled with Corel with this.
Wow.
This started with Corel 2020, but you see that
Yeah.
pixelation.
That's where it doesn't do it in mine. That's really strange.
You got to be shitting me.
No, I'm telling you, I'm not.
I've done this on 4 different computers. So
I am telling you right now, I religiously love Corel. I do big maps. Matter of fact, my world, I'm printing on large format. In my large format, the largest I've ever done or pulled up in screen is right around probably about 400 inches wide for large format.
And it's nothing but vector images.
And it's all vector, yeah, and I have no problem.
You don't get pixelization.
No.
It's cool. It's a cool map. I like that.
Thank you. Yeah, and
That's really strange because usually the only time I've ever seen that happen is when people are up in view and they use standard instead of enhanced. But yours is set correctly. Let me do this. After the show, I'll kind of look at all my settings and I'll send you a series of back-end settings you can go into setup, and maybe that might be part of the problem. I'll see if I can help you out.
Because there is an option there is an option in here where I turned it on and it made it better, but didn't eliminate the pixelization, but it made it better, and I am not going to bore. Oh, zoom.
Right.
Oh, right here. Low resolution preview for responsive zooming and panning. So if I go here, let's try this. Maybe it's a consequence of having that on. And now I go to view, enhance. Oh yeah, yeah. If you don't have that turned on, Glenn, this is. I'm sorry, Don. This is what happened. You don't see anything. You wait, wait, and wait, and wait.
You're waiting for. I'd be interested to know what kind of computer, what you're running as far as RAM, and also there you go.
i7, 64 gigs of RAM with a 5070 GeForce
That should
6070.
be plenty to run that easily. Huh.
Well, just realize this file is a half a gig in size.
Oh yeah, they're big files. They're vectors. I mean, they're massive files when you get that large. The graphics. Because I do stuff like I do like banners and posters with real detail and all that, and very 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 strange.
So I'll see if I have this on my one of these files on my Google Drive, and I probably have a smaller file on Google Drive that will exhibit it. For
Yeah, because
example,
I'm running 128 on my RAM, but 64 should be fine.
Beth wants to know how many layers.
oh, you want to know how many layers?
Oh,
Okay. Oh, okay.
yeah, I was about to say there's a lot
Weep,
of layers in that
weep,
file.
my friend, weep at all the layers.
Yeah.
Yes, if I ever want to go hard, I have my 12.5 mile hexes all ready to go.
And MMLN asks a really cool question: is how did you generate the numbered hex grid?
That's a trade secret, man. You think I'm going to give that one out? What I did is one year I went into their scripting engine and took me a better part of a weekend afternoon, and I made a whole row. I made a whole row of numbers, set up there so that the last two digits were correct. Pasted the columns. Then I selected a column and I told it to go and change the first two numbers. And I'm a basic programmer in my day job.
Mm-hmm.
And what's not a basic programmer, but I meant I use Visual Basic as one of my programming languages.
Nice.
So I know how to use their scripting engine to generate what I need. And so I have a file here that has these hex numbers.
Nice.
And I just paste them in there and call the ones I don't need.
Very cool.
Hello.
Anybody else have any questions before I turn this off?
Nope. Turn it off. Turn it off. Turn it off.
Oh, my eyes.
So that, folks, is a peek behind the magic, so to speak.
See, that's what I want to start doing with the new publishing, the Wizard Towers. I want to but I'm wondering how many people I'll bore to death is to show how it's done on computer, but also bring them into the shop and show how the actual printing and binding is done. I mean, it's like people don't realize the science behind it.
Right.
Oh
yeah. And I think that would interest people, is to show people how to print and bind and do.
Yeah, I in fact, Don, for Christmas last year, not this year, or not in 2025, but 2024, Kellyanne got me a bookbinding kit, so I made my own hardcover.
Very cool.
With that stitch binding that people like, and explained how to do it, and it was very informative and interesting, and it still holds up.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Oh yeah.
So now, here, I'm going to throw a little curveball. Don, you had like a soft announcement last night.
A flaccid announcement?
That too.
That's
I'm not talking about what happens in the bedroom, sir. I'm just saying you have like a soft announcement.
Regarding? I'm irritating the shit out of this guy right here.
I think
we
no.
we have been talking about a licensing deal that we've been dealing with a certain company. The company has been very strict on how to announce when we can release it. We haven't even got permission yet on fully doing it, except we got allowed. We can say one thing: it has to do with a BX based product.
It's a beautiful thing.
It's a very beautiful thing, and
Good.
it is going to be really super cool. And we're going to be involving several people in this, I think.
And so I understand, without giving anything away. Hopefully, if it goes well with you, this means they might be amicable to working with other people, right?
They already are. This company already is working with at least 1 to 2 other people that I know of, as part of an initial test to see how it goes. So I think it'll be received very well, because that's been my argument, is that there is another element out there that's a lot of money's being left on the table, and with that other element being brought in, I think that'll generate, I think, a lot of positive. It'll stop a lot of this arguing online over what's better, what's not better, so to speak,
Right.
because things will be. And I really hate to use the word modernized, because that's really going to catch a lot of shit from a lot of people, but it is going to be modernized, but not in the way that people are paranoid about.
I think I know how to deal with it. The presentation is going to be modernized,
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
and maybe the text will be edited to make that which is unclear in the past clear.
Clearer, and added more content added to it to expand it and make it, in my opinion, better.
Sure, because I understand that pressure quite well. I don't have it here to show you, but I did that with the Judges Guild Wildlands book.
Yes.
I didn't change what Bledsaw, or in case of the later ones, what other authors wrote,
Mhm.
but I went and edited it. I rearranged it, and there was some stuff that after I parsed it a while and played with the tables, got what they were going for. It made sure the way the new my revised guidebook said
Well,
was understandable.
also, Fugly, to bring up a very important point, I am not saying anything about what the game specifically is. So, as far as BX or Back Me, I can't say anything about that. I can't really, because I have no knowledge of that really. Let's just put it this way: that from everything that me and our attorney's been told that we're dealing with, is that the announcement is going to be, for lack of a better word, formally done within the next few weeks. So,
Yeah.
Nice.
well, it's. I'm gonna tell you right now, dealing with certain companies is like, although I'm grateful
I
for
know.
it, but saying that the I's and crossing T's matter right down to the period to
Oh,
get it right.
I think it's beyond that. I think it's like, you know what? Your T isn't completely crossed. I mean, you can
Crossed.
tell it's crossed, but there's a little dip here where your pen came off for a second. We got to make sure that part gets fixed.
And-
Well, I know it's like mating elephants, but
Exactly.
I don't even want to picture that.
Well,
I'm sorry.
Fuse Blower says something very interesting. He says, "Oh no, not the mythical modern audience, but keep in mind one thing, and it does not matter to me what game system you're talking about, whether it's D&D, GURPS, no matter what it is. I don't see the bad thing about bringing it into a more modern audience, because." And I've said this before many, many times, and it's an argument that I get into a lot online, is, when I go into a game shop and I see a bunch of kids at a table playing D&D, the first thing that comes to mind is not, oh shit, they're playing 5e. I just look at it and going, holy cow, a bunch of young kids are playing D&D. All right.
Yeah, I
they're,
mean,
they're not staring at their phones.
for those that like poo-poo
Mm.
games like Shadow Dark, and there are some criticisms that are valid, but here's the thing: Shadow Dark is a bridge,
Yes, it is.
and it's a bridge to bring 5e players into the world of old school gaming.
Yep.
And yes, we should be embracing games like that. Now, some people call OSC a bridge, and in a way it is because it's that modern presentation with a classic rule set. Now, there are people who go, I can't stand the format. I what it doesn't make a difference
That's
whether you
fine.
like the format, that's fine. But it brings people into the OSR because I got news for those that are standing at the gates. Okay? At some point, the people on your screen that you see now, we're going to age out of this hobby.
We're going
All
to
right?
be
Without
gone.
new blood,
Not me.
without
will be
new
in-
blood, the OSR
Wait a minute, Eric.
fade
Are
away.
you saying that I'm going to be in Valhalla surrounded by virgins drinking mead and having orgies with Odin? Honey, I'm just joking.
In 20 or 30 years, yeah. Listen, we lost Tim Kask.
Yes,
Okay? We just lost
absolutely. Sadly, we lost that.
Okay,
man.
that's a generation in front of us.
Yeah.
Right? Time moves on. The only option besides getting older at some point is passing away.
Yeah.
Okay? And I want this hobby, the OSR, to survive my passing and the passing of others of my generation. And you only do that by bringing in new blood.
That's
Well,
right.
something Tim used to say, and we'd be on the back porch, and Wampler was there. Wampler can attest to this. Is we had to be on the back porch just shooting the shit while he was smoking a bowl, and Tim would go talking about games and everything, and he'd be like, playing D&D is playing D&D. No matter what version they're playing, it's a positive for the hobby because it's bringing people in.
Right.
And think about it this way. I remember when second edition came out and everyone was like, oh, they messed up D&D. Oh, they screwed the game up. Oh my God. And people were just like going, oh, geez. And now what is second edition is one of the most well-loved editions of the entire line,
Mm-hmm.
So it's all perspective on age, I like AD&D 1E. That's I like that system. I like BECME and BX. I'm not a fan of second edition, but I believe Bad Mike is a lover of second edition, isn't he?
Bad Mike actually is a BX. I think he's 1E BX. I think he runs BX at cons.
Gotcha. But the point is no matter what edition that you play, except if you play fourth edition, then no, you're not going to be forgiven. Yeah. But the point is
I'm sorry, go on.
gaming is gaming. I mean, D&D is D&D, and we're always going to be. There's always going to be that element of sitting on the porch going, get off my lawn. And one day, 5e players are going to be 58, 60, 65 years old.
Old school.
Yeah, and they're going to be the old school guys. Yeah. So.
Can I point out something here? Can you show my screen again, Eric?
Mm-hmm.
This is the Waterland of Fantastic Reaches, the original. It's a scan of it I made. You can see how it's presented. See the content. For a modern audience, you don't need to change stuff. You just need to go in here and let's get to
you change the presentation. You make it look nicer.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, so where do I do the Silver Skiing Island? Oh, now I should have turned to this page. Okay, right here. This is my presentation. So over here is this information,
Mm-hmm.
is this information.
Yes.
It's all the same stuff, except it's more compact. And if you noticed it, where's the heading, Rob? Where's the heading it had? Well, I went over here and I made notes on the map. This is not original to the D. This is my own creation, but it's based on my experience using the map. And I didn't I didn't base this right up on how I used it as a majestic waterland, because that's a very different setting than what the Blood
Mhm.
Sauce offered. I used this as my experience from working with the original. And so, all the information that was in that paragraph about the Island of Skin, which is
Mhm.
this part I'm highlighting, is right here. And
Yeah.
as far as rules goes, this is all the castle information that
Mhm.
was in the Ready Ref sheets. And here I like to think that the layout I did is a little bit more user friendly than the layout they had. And I even managed to squeeze in some of the original illustrations that
Mhm.
they used. So this is what I feel means presenting to a modern audience mean.
Yeah.
You just take the advantage of the technology to present it the best way while keeping the content maybe edited in terms of explaining things better,
Mhm.
like transportation, uh, resource transportation. This was not as clearly explained in the original Ready Ref Ski as
Gotcha.
it is here. So
Now, Fugly asks a question about me. He asked me, "Do I like skills? Second issues of skills." I love skills. I like the use of skills, depending how you do it. My open worlds RPG, which is my own amalgamation of an RPG, has skills, but I think it's all depends upon, again, presentation and how you utilize them. I don't like how D&D utilizes their skills and implements them.
the whole
But
point of skills for me is that in my Living World Sandbox campaign, players want to do other things other
yes,
than combat and spellcasting,
yep,
and they want, more importantly, they want to be better at these other things.
yes,
Mhm.
So I called it back in the Majestic Waterland supplement. I was cognizant of the sensitivity of the OSR at the time had towards skills, so I called them abilities.
Uh,
And but now I call them skills. But I still keep the principle that OD&D had was any character can, outside of combat and spellcasting, any character could do anything. How to get
yes.
adjudicated kind of varied. Some people rolled D20 under a skill, 3D6 under a skill, multiply your attribute. No, I'm sorry, not under a skill, under your attribute. Multiply that attribute by 5 and roll percentage underneath that attribute. But nonetheless, all fighters, magic users, and cleric could sneak around, could deal with locked doors, could deal with traps. It
Well,
wasn't until the thief came around that people got the idea that only thief could deal with these things.
well, I think the idea, what I like about, well, the system, the way I implemented it is that I always thought it's stupid that magic users couldn't use swords, but I understand the theory behind it. A warrior will always be better at
So
melee combat than a magic user, just because the way they brought up and they're trained. But in my game, like as an example, I if you want to pick up, if you're a fighter, a warrior, and you want to pick up the skill spell casting, go right ahead and do it. But the problem is you're going to be so behind the eight ball and be able to implement that. You're going to be, it's really dangerous for you to do that. So, because think about this, as a warrior, if you pick up a scroll, you could try to read the damn thing. Doesn't mean you're gonna read the scroll right.
right.
And bad things can happen. But I just think that, and that's why I kind of call it the open worlds role playing games, because it's open. A lot of things are open to everybody. Like, you know, picking locks.
mhm.
Why is that just a thief skill? It shouldn't be just a skill available to thieves. Why can't anybody try to pick a lock? Doesn't mean you're going to be good at it, or you'll
Right.
be adept at it, but why not? So
Well,
Yeah.
I mean,
again, everybody likes their own flavor.
I believe Dragon Magazine, it was either in the late 60s or early 70s numbers. There was an article about a weapon can be used by any class. However, any weapon that a magic user used was going to do D4 damage unless it was a staff, which did D6. A cleric, you could use any weapon, but they were going to do D6 damage maximum.
Yeah, they're utilizing the limitation of
Right.
the damage
So,
to limit
right,
the
to
use.
bounce it out. And the argument was that a magic user is never fully trained in using a sword, but you stick somebody with a pointed item, it's going to do damage.
Right.
But their argument was the only weapon that could do D6 damage in a magic user's hand was a staff, because it doubles as a walking staff.
Mhm.
There's a lot of something that they would be more common to use. It wasn't a bad argument. It wasn't a bad article, but as BX and AD&D were written, if you follow the magic item charts, magic swords were pretty much a fighter specialty they used to. But I mean, it was there. The good magic items were swords, right? You could find a plus one mace, but the swords were the ones that had intelligence. The swords were the ones that had personality.
Right.
That was to give those non-casting classes. Oh well, my sword I can detect minerals in 30 feet if I concentrate. It was to give them little shticks that they could do,
Sure.
not just that minor magic powers to your non-caster, essentially. So,
Well, my view is that, so after 20 years running GURPS, I'm heavily influenced. And while GURPS points don't really quite equate to this, they kind of do. Is one way of viewing GURPS point is it represents the amount of time you had in your life to learn something.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have 100 points and you put all 100 points into what it takes to be a good mage, then you're going to be a good mage. If you take all that same 100 points, put it in all to be a good fighter, you're going to be a good fighter. But if you split it, you're going to be 50 points in your fighting and 15 points in your mage. Well, yeah, you can fight and cast spell, but you're going to be half the fighter the other guy is and half the mage the other guy is who specializes.
Right.
And so part of that view influenced how I handle my Majestic Fantasy RPG. I figured I've come up with a way. I don't want to turn D&D into GURPS. No way. And my audience, rightfully so, would not accept that. And frankly, I like how I can resolve a full-blown combat in 20 minutes to a half hour. Well, in GURPS, it would take the whole damn session to do it. It'd be fun, but it would still take the whole damn session to do it. But the way I treat classes is they're a package of related abilities and skills. So it isn't it's a magic user. It's somebody who focused their time learning how to be a magic user. So that's why they don't know how to learn to wield a sword well, because they never had the time to learn it. And unlike GURPS, which is very fine grained, you can put 1 point in something and you have it. In D&D, it's a little bit more coarse, and that's the way it is. And if I get an idea, so that's basically my philosophy on skill. Whatever makes sense, if you were there as the character, that's how my philosophy. I don't worry, that whole idea that you do a different amount of damage per weapon. Okay, that's overcomplicating things in my mind. If you know how to swing the weapon, if you have the skill and you have the strength, you're going to do the same amount of damage.
Simple.
I'm busy.
John Miller's been talking about weapon proficiencies and the penalties and bonuses, and yeah, there weren't really weapon proficiencies in original D&D or BX. It was an AD&D conceit, and I am going to guess it was put in because of the idea of tournament play to keep people.
Well, Gary was hugely behind tournament play.
Yes, So I believe that was put in for that. And then the thing with proficiencies is once you gave fighters specialization, you essentially lowered their proficiencies either from 4 at first level to 3 or 2, because any fighter who didn't specialize or double special, you had to specialize, or else you were literally leaving your character behind, which meant that you weren't going to be using very many different weapons. And I always, as a fighter, and before Unearthed Arcana came out, enjoyed the fact that I could swap out my weapons so quickly because I had proficiencies in 4 or 5.
Right.
You know, that to me was the fun of it. I didn't start on BX. Okay, I started on 1E. So
And the only thing I would say about that weapon specialization is if they change. Yes, okay, fighter gets weapon specialization. Yes, you are accurate. But you know what they didn't change? The
What?
monster manual. So all of a sudden you had these fighters who were way better.
oh
And
yeah,
they're still fighting the same monster.
listen, that was the original 5E-ization, like 5 to 5.5, 3 to 3. That was the original. Oof! Let's increase the fight, and the fighter's power was increased because high level magic users. But the thing is, fighters were already powerful at first level compared to a magic user. And by the way, the members only video that I got to record tonight is going to be about magic users in BX, and at low levels, and how you got to change your mindset. But I will say this: I think there are 2 house rules that, if you're playing BX, Dragon Slayer has 2 house rules for magic users that I think are excellent. One is you give magic users the same bonus you give clerics. You have a high intelligence, you get bonus spells. Doesn't throw off balance much if you add the second house rule, which is you can't prepare the same spell more than once. So you can't spam sleep. You got to become more of a utility spellcaster. And I think that's where magic users in BX do actually shine. So you don't become the nuclear force until higher levels in BX.
There was a comment about from somebody saying, a lot of things in a lot of something to the effect is a lot of rules don't make sense in the world, but they make a good game. And that certainly you could approach making an RPG a fun game to play. That's what D&D 4E did. They said, we're going to make a fun game out of Dungeons and Dragons. Another approach, which is my approach, is I make a version of D&D that's true to my Majestic Fantasy realm. Now, my Majestic Fantasy realm is not like Tekkamel or Garanthia. I really play on the standard D&D stereotype because not only I like them, they're more relatable to the players. And years later, it turns out it's more easily shared with the rest of you guys.
Mm-hmm.
But that's my criteria. And that's why I picked Swords and Wizardry core rules as my starting point, because that was the addition of classic D&D that was easy for me to manipulate, still keeping it classic D&D, but making it true to my world and not function as a game. I rarely ever use game logic.
Right.
It's always world. If I add something to it, it's because it's world logic. But that's a choice. Either way would work. That's my choice.
Right.
Uh-oh. So somebody let Ty Beard into the room. Hold on.
Uh-oh.
Careful what you say.
All right, Mr. Gunn is
Hi, Grandma.
asking a couple of weapon damage questions, and he isn't in the chat I'm in, so I can't text him about it. All right, so Mr. Gunn, weapon damage. The question is, the question for me is, if I pick up, well, hell, I can illustrate this one.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
It's breaking out some maces and longswords.
Here comes the charts and the.
Everybody follow. Oh,
I was close. God, I was close. The long sword, but a
and the-
pike.
Now you tell me. Now this obviously is not real steel. I have one over there, but this is more. If this was steel, this would be more steel than this guy. Okay.
uh,
So which one of these would do more raw damage if I swung it at a human being? Well, it's going to be this. There's more metal behind this, more impact.
But it also depends upon, and this is where we get into,
Yes.
we're getting more into. But if Rob swung that at me and hit me with it, Rob would do more damage than if a 10-year-old swung it at me and hit me with it.
Sure, and that's why we have a strength attribute to account for that.
right.
And we can
but-
argue about how much of it accounts for it, but it will account for it. And not
But
only
here,
that,
Rob, I'm going to throw something else in here too. The axe in the hands of a lesser skilled individual will probably do more damage than them swinging that sword because the axe is balanced with the weight at the end. So you don't. The sword's more finesse. The axe is more brute bashing to a large point. So there's a difference in those weapons, even just by the balance. You know, all your impact is literally on that.
but is it, Eric? You're talking about skill now. Its skill is about, you can consider, there's a lot to way to slice the skill apple, but you could consider skill as just
But-
being able to land a blow the correct way on the
but
target. So if
but
I'm hitting the guy like this versus hitting the guy like this, it's going to make a difference in the damage. So what are we represent? How we're choosing to represent this in combat does make a difference. So you could make a case for damage.
But also, there's a case. Also, the other half is this: is that how technical do you really want to get in a game?
Exactly.
I mean, keeping it simple sometimes is best, and I think that's why it's just kind of a blanket. Long swords do 1D, whatever. Battle axes do 1D, whatever. And if you kind of do that with just a few adjustments, your modifiers, I think that's better because then you get in. Because what I really hated about some editions is, well, you're going to do an arrow, you're going to shoot an arrow. Okay, what's the wind velocity currently going on? And it's like,
Well, I'm
Keep
going
it
to submit
simple.
this to you, Don. So I didn't do that with my Majestic Fantasy RPG. Yeah, I have the traditional damage associated with the different weapons.
Yeah.
But when it comes to let's consider this guy, okay? So historically, each of these existed to serve a different purpose in the hand of a trained warrior, okay?
Mhm.
Now, this is not perfectly representative of what I was going to say because the real axe of this is, but historically, axe you use in battle, this is called the beard. It would go down to here.
Mhm.
And the
Right.
beard was used to bind weapons, okay? This part was used for reach, thrust, reaching thrust.
Like a spear.
Right. And this part, even though I don't have this particular weapon, this part, the one I have in my game, this is a hook. This one is used for punching armor. That's
Yep.
why it's a different shape than this. But the way I would handle this weapon in my system, I wouldn't go overboard with wind velocity. Fuck no. But I would allow what I call a combat stunt is in lieu of doing damage, you can try to bind your target's weapon. They get a saving throw, though it's not as good as doing damage. But if you really needed to bind your weapon, you could make the attempt. And if they fail their save, you bound their weapon. And your friends in your party can take advantage of that. And and if you decide to use this aspect of the weapon, you get +1 when you're attacking somebody with plate armor. And if you're using this part, you can attack them from 10 feet away.
Right.
And I don't go any further than that.
Gotcha.
So that way I give a little bit of the tactical complexity that I enjoyed with GURPS, but not in a way I feel it's overboard. And it's in the description of the weapon. So if you
Mhm.
if you pick this weapon, you'll see that listed and say, oh, okay. And the only requirement to do this is that you're proficient in the weapon. Don't complicate it any more than that. So I think there's a balance. If you want a little bit more than what standard D&D offer, you can get that. You can get that in your game and still keep it D&D.
Right.
Sorry for the digression.
No,
That's okay.
that's what we're for.
But now I got to place that axe back because I had to secure up there because I don't want that fucker to fall.
Man found dead in his study with an axe over his head.
Yeah.
Wife has been blamed. She claims she's innocent.
I did not do it. It wasn't me. It was
No.
And then this video is used as evidence to support the defense.
I wasn't here.
Yeah, Glenn's like, I was on screen. I wasn't.
I keep it up on the stairwell right there.
Nice. Oh.
Oh man, we've been bouncing all over the place.
We have been all over.
Well, you got your title for this. If you need a catch-all title, the HEMA episode. Somebody came up with that in the chat.
The HEMA episode.
Yeah, HEMA is the crazy people who wear real armor and go at each other with live steel.
Oh, with live steel. Jesus.
Yeah.
The riddles.
Bring up a YouTube video sometime, and after you do HEMA.
Oh my
That's
god.
the crazy folkers.
I
They do full body contact, the whole 9 yards. Welcome, Mr. Gunn.
Well, Crom laughs at them.
Oh, and for people who want to see this in action, I have this part of a free download, so I'll share that with Eric in a second, and you can.
Okay.
Yeah, I before I came out with my basic rules for the Majestic Fantasy RPG, I have a double check that.
You want to watch a video of people impaling each other on spears and longswords?
Hey, the rumor had it there's a video out there of me kicking Joe's ass, so with a sword. Long sword, but a sword nonetheless.
Historical European martial arts.
Is that like being kicked in the balls? I don't know.
I don't know. I've been kicked in the balls once. And
Well,
it was not a
Eric
pleasant
was
experience.
once at North Texas. I
No.
mean,
It
Yep.
only looks like I was kicked in the balls. Thank God.
Yeah, James Spahn was getting a little crazy.
Yes.
Kicked in the balls. Bad Mike's brother dressing up in a thong and devil ears. I bet you there's shit that goes on behind the scenes that we don't even know about.
Like with the midnight auction, there's a reason why it happens at midnight.
You
Yeah.
know what, dude? I think I'm gonna show up there and just for shits and giggles, stand up, scream out loud, Beetlejuice 3 times, and click my heels while I'm doing it.
There's the link.
So either you'll get Beetlejuice or you will be transported to Oz
Hard telling.
or Kansas. I don't know.
Another question that Melmon asked a while ago that I never got it. Something about hexes. Melmon, can you repeat that?
He asked you. I think he asked you about hexes are not as good as squares. He thinks squares are better than hexes. There was a question that related to that.
For overland maps? No, hexes
Okay.
are way better.
Hexes, I think, are way better too. Maybe I had it backwards, but there was a question regarding one was better than the other. But I agree, definitely hexes are much, much better.
Yeah,
I think hexes are better for internal dungeon crawls, even. If you want to,
I really wanted to believe. Just like they do in X Files. But GURPS did come out. Steve Jackson did come out with tiles that were dungeons with hexes.
Wow.
It sounds good, but it doesn't work as well as you think it does in practice.
Really?
Yeah.
No,
Because listen, when we're
dungeons.
right? Because dungeons, you're dealing with straight hallways.
Pretty much.
True. I didn't think about that. You're right.
And honestly, the best solution I found is basically draw it out to scale on the battle map with dry erase or use Dwarven Forge. And oops, that's no longer my travel kit. And pull out one of these bad boys.
Hold on. Rob's getting ready to whip it out.
Those of you who kept your mage knights know what this is.
Ah, yes.
So this is a ruler.
The floppy ruler.
The floppy ruler is a mage knight. It is tough, durable, takes a licking, keeps on ticking, and it does its job of measuring. So somebody says, I want to move 20 feet. You put your finger on the 4-inch mark, 20 feet. Okay, that's where your mini is.
Rob's got all the toys tonight, doesn't he?
Oh yeah,
Wow,
yeah.
that's
My
it all.
son, and then I got some exclusive. This is my son made this,
Oh,
Ah.
and because I use maps and they roll up. Sewing weights was handy pull out little drawers.
Nice.
Ah.
So those of you who will be seeing me at Page, you'll be seeing me use this in action. Oh, and it's an official OSR box.
Oh, official.
Yeah, I asked him to print it so I can put one of the. I forgot who made these patches, but they're really awesome. And oh, and I also have my bat in the
Is
attic.
that a patch or a sticker?
That's a patch.
Nice.
Oh yeah,
very nice.
oh darn it! We've been at this OSR. It's going to be 20 years this year, and
Dennis Moore used to put.
I was
put
about to
those
say,
out.
I can do stickers and I can do laser etch plates, but I can't do patches.
well, yeah, that was a thing. This is the Swords and Wizardry patch.
Nice.
This is the.
I got one of those,
Yeah.
I do shirts with that big OSR logo on them.
and I've got the Conan OSR one too.
Yeah,
Now,
I
what
never
kind of
cared for
patches
that.
that,
I
Rob?
understand why people like them, but I really like these two, so I got them.
Is that a iron-on patch or a sew-on patch or what is it exactly?
I don't know. I'm a Philistine when it comes to patches, so you tell me. It's got the shiny back.
It's a iron-on patch.
Oh, okay. Now I
Yep.
know. This is not. This has no shiny back.
Yep, shiny back is iron-on. You can put them on,
Yep.
and they'll adhere right to the shirt.
All right, so
Yeah,
Rob,
what?
the question was if the hexes were generated dynamically when the map loaded, or if you did it once and then imported it as a static file.
Nice.
There
Gauntlet.
you go. The answer is they're not dynamically generated. They are vector objects stored in a layer. So they're not an image. They are each hexes you see on there. Or no, that's not true. That's not my trick. My trick is because you can't load a hex field that big. You will crush CorelDRAW. Just if you have 10,000 hex, that map has 10,000 hexes in it. It will crush CorelDRAW.
Wow.
However, if you draw the walls of the hex as a single object and the line of hexes going across, then it's only like 2,000 objects and it's easy to load. And that's what you see. What you've seen on that map are about 1,000 lines this way and 1,000 lines this way. And there's 3 sets. There's one this way, and there's one this way, and there's one this way for the column. And that's what forms my hex field.
Ah.
And then when I make smaller maps, I import that in, trim it up, and that forms the smaller. But yeah, doing that technique allows me to make hex field of basically any side.
Very nice.
Nice.
Very nice.
Very nice. Very nice.
Glenn, you look tired.
I thought I always looked that way.
Yes, but from our New Year's Eve presentation, we got to see this from fully awake Glenn to sleep Glenn.
Glenn was a little bit more than asleep.
We saw all the phase changes in between.
Glenn was like,
Glenn was mellow.
yeah.
They call him Mellow Yellow.
I managed to go on. I'm still kind of. I managed to go on GoFundMe today to put a GoFundMe up, and I, off the bat, screwed it up. Absolutely screwed it up right off the bat.
It's not hard with GoFundMe.
So yeah, you're probably right. I thought these online places are foolproof now.
No.
Nice seeing you, Mr. Gunn.
By the way, I actually forgot I had a Ko-fi account or a coffee account, as they call it.
Oh, jeez, yeah.
I
I
do.
forgot I had it until somebody donated $25 to it, and I was like,
Hey,
Hey,
I got a sale on itch.io.
"It's
Of my
nice."
most expensive product too. I don't cut my prices for itch. Yeah, somebody bought a copy of How to Make a Fantasy Sandbox.
Well, that's good. That's a good product too. Really, it's written so the average gamer can grok it, which
mhm.
is important. I mean, like I've one of the comments on my videos is like they appreciate the videos because I'm not talking down to anybody, but I'm breaking things down to digestible pieces.
Right.
And you can go to some channels and they have good information, but it's like an info dump, and info dumps don't generally don't work very well, especially if like I talk about block text. We all remember block text back in the classic TSR adventures. Some of it was like the read aloud was like one whole column.
Three paragraphs or something like that.
I mean, you lose your players with that. Nobody's paying attention to your monologue. I even back in my younger days, I used to always wonder. It's like I understood like for the tournament adventures, like you're setting it up. The great evil Khan has done X Y Z, and it's the setup. That's fine, but in your regular campaign, you don't want that. Oh my
Mhm.
god.
I've been thinking of offering a service on Fiverr where I can read box text for intros and stuff for GMs, so they don't have to do it.
Oh, speaking of, I'll talk to you tomorrow about it when I send you info. I might have a gig for you, Glenn, to do a reading of a book if you want. It's a fantasy book.
I've done it before, sure.
So,
For a audiobook.
sorry. So Beth Rains mentioned pattern fills in CorelDRAW. Yes, CorelDRAW is very good. That's
Mhm.
how I did this map for Exilium.
Oh, that's pretty.
Hold on, I
These-
will begin.
And
Very
these are the original dry erase textures.
Yep. Nice.
And I found out they're public domain.
Wow,
Mhm.
really?
Yep. I located 1940s U.S. Navy maps, U.S. Army map, U.S. Geological Survey. Well, not so much. Only some of them are in the U.S. Geological Survey because they like to use color for stuff. But yes, these textures were made with a lithographic process. They were burned in by a variety of techniques to create these patterns, and they picked the ones they like. And the U.S. government was the first to use them, and thus, when the dry transfers came in vogue in the 1950s, they copied these lithographic plates into dry transfer sheets.
Mhm.
So they're not original art to them. They were taken from the U.S. government publications and standards because the government published a standard book, and thus in the public domain.
Nice.
Nice.
Oh, here's
I'm going to set up a website for that.
I got a fun topic, and this comes with a story too. In my late 20s, I was working on a temp job at an oil field in the blueprint department, and my job was when the engineers came in, they needed blueprints of the certain part of the oil field. I had to go and copy them and give them the copies. Well, I managed to took a few copies and take them home myself and adapted them into Fantasy Streets, Dungeon Map. It worked perfectly. So what have you guys taken from somewhere else and used them in a game like that? Made them into whatever you wanted to use them for.
The funny thing is, I tend to make my own stuff.
Okay.
I mean, just as in general, just to do it. I mean, there's some things
Well,
on
I'm
the
redraw them.
What's that?
I mean, I'd redraw. I take them home and
Yeah.
redraw them and everything.
But the nice thing is also I use a lot of Photoshop brushes, so I guess I'm probably utilizing other people's works via that.
Right.
But brushes are really good for really repetitive type stuff, like
Yeah.
dungeon hallways with lots of you're doing the floors and
Right.
forests and
And,
trees.
they have those websites out there that have like old public domain maps
Yeah.
that you can grab. And
Yep.
didn't Gary do the original D&D map as like he took like Minnesota and turned it sideways or something like that? I seem to remember something like that.
So I have a confession to make. Could you blow up my screen, please?
Uh-oh.
Oh,
North Carolina, Finland, the
Nice.
I love it.
Circuit, the Sea of Azov off the Black Sea,
uh-huh.
Wales.
See, but that's the kind
That's the
of
thing I'm talking about.
version of
yeah. I
Cornwall,
love that type of
Scotland.
shit. That is just absolutely great.
Oh, and this is a topographical relief of the Allegheny Mountains. I always love
Nice.
that. The Himalayas.
And the thing is, people looking at that would never come up with that.
But it has authenticity. It's got reality built into it.
The thing to remember, folks, terrain is fractal. So you could go out after a rainstorm, look at a puddle that has jagged edges, take a picture of that.
Sure.
That can be a coastline.
Yeah.
That's
Because
true.
nature does things in the small. In that regard, nature does things in the small as well as the large, and they're similar process on different
I just
scales.
love that type of stuff.
Ricardo, you're right. It is map bashing,
Yep.
which is always fun.
Yes. Bashing. In model building, they have a thing called kit bashing.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
It just random stuff sometimes can really make overall when it's all done cool stuff.
Even for like role-playing minis, you can kit bash them.
Yeah.
You can kit bash anything.
Eric is yawning. Glenn was falling asleep earlier.
It's not you guys. It is the remains of the flu, guys.
Maybe there and Eric, maybe we can tie this up that you get some sleep, man.
Yeah. I mean, normally we go to the 2-hour mark, but I think we're going to have some failed saving throws here. Pretty soon.
Yeah.
Mark. Yeah.
Well, yeah. All right. You don't have to twist my arm too much. Rob,
wait a minute. One more thing. I want to regret saying this. So, guys, I'm on Tenkar's Tavern on Discord. So I don't hop on there and follow the conversation that often, but the notification is on. So if you have questions for me, I know a lot of people have questions, just go at Robert S. Conley and ping me and I'll answer it.
Bing.
Yeah, and they're good answers too sometimes.
perhaps.
Sometimes I make my skill check.
God, I apologize for being not quite 100% health. I'm working at it.
We'll forgive you this time.
Well,
You'll be ready come con time.
Yeah, well, I actually like my first con of the year is TotalCon next month.
Yep, next month. And Rob, by the way, enjoy Paige.
Yeah.
Yeah, have fun.
I'll miss you, but we're understandably. But
what? Bad people, man. You're on video with bad people here.
You are.
But I am going to be on 10 a.m., folks. I'm going to be on a panel with Kelsey and a bunch of other folks the current state of the OSR.
Oh, that should be good.
I'll give you a preview. The current state of the OSR is good.
Rob, we're going to want a summary for 2 weeks from now when we do the next episode.
Yes, I will be glad to give that.
All right.
Operational.
Just lay it out.
Report, please.
Yes, and tell Kelsey that I said hello. I'm sorry I missed her. I'll see her at North Texas.
Okay.
She is.
To be honest, I'm going to be a little starstruck. I mean, I know I'm the old guy in the OSR comparatively to some of these people, but man, she's doing really well.
Kelsey is an awesome person. Okay, regardless of whether you like Shadow Dark or not,
well,
she's just a honest to God good person.
It
Well,
really helps
it's more than
me-
that. She's not a lone author. She has
No.
a team, and that's something.
Yeah.
That's a
And
trick
she,
even I
and
haven't
she
been able to
encourages
pull off.
community and others to build
Yeah.
off her work. So, yeah.
So she has skill and she's a genuinely nice person to boot, and that's
Yeah.
a great combination.
And,
really,
she's,
it's hard to beat.
and she will soon ascend to sainthood.
Well, I don't know about that. I don't know if any of us will, but maybe. Don, Glenn, thank you for joining us tonight.
Anytime. Well,
Excuse me, folks. Again, thank you to all the subscribers. Thank you to all the members. You, the viewers. You're all. It's very humbling, and it's been a 2025 ended on a high note. 2026 is kicking into high gear, and if I was healthy, I'd be doing even better. But I'm gonna get there.
You're getting there.
Live stream tomorrow night. Myself and my wife, Rachel, Gamers Health.
Well, I guess you have your topic already picked out.
We had 3 doctor's appointments between the two of us this week. We kind of stacked them up nice, high, and heavy. All routine, but so other than that, God bless, and I'll catch many of you tomorrow. Members only video will hopefully go up later on tonight for full release for everybody tomorrow afternoon.
Don and I will see you next Tuesday day and hopefully bring in along Mr. Tinkar.
I will do my best to make it.
Okay.
Excellent.
All right, folks.